My viewers, the other time I recorded a video concerning what I went through. A lot of people have written to me telling me that they have noticed that I'm still haunted with the experience of Miss Piggy for what I went through. It is good that they say that in counseling, the best medicine in counseling is opening up. It is good that I'm opening up, and I have to tell you that I'm having it hard to come to terms with people are telling me uh, people to go through such experiences, be man enough, accept and move on. Well, of course, William Shakespeare said in the book Julius Caesar that it is 1,000 times easier to advise somebody on what I'm going through than going through it. I have advised thousands and thousands, thousands upon thousands of people in even worse situation that I am. But I have come to see I'm really having it hard. Let me, before I start talking, let me tell you one thing. This is my iPhone. It is very old, you can see, and whatever, but a very functioning iPhone. It is iPhone 7. I've always believed it was iPhone 6 because when my sister-in-law died, this is when I was given this phone. And I was told somebody told me it was iPhone 6. I've always believed it is iPhone 6. Forgive my age. And then Madam OCS, Riruta Satellites, calls me on a Monday evening. Kindly, kindly see me. I'll talk about that. I'll talk to you about that because today I want to talk about her, specifically her. She calls me in circumstances I'll explain later. And then I come to the police station. All of a sudden, I'm mugged. Yes, I'm mugged with 7 people with submachine, not several people with submachine guns. And the first thing they go for my phone. Obviously, because the relative who was organizing all this thing knew that after getting the phone, she will know. People communicate. If you have issues, she wanted to know whom I communicate with, whom I do whatever from whatever. And it was a surprise. It was a surprise. So the phone is now, it acts when it wants. There are so many times it shows that invalid SIM card. Yani, kwa Kiswahili hii simu ni mkebe. Those who know Madam OCS Riruta Satellite can say, even if I killed anybody, what had my phone to do with that? Because when my phone was taken, it was well and functioning, but very old. Well and functioning and very old. And even before I had this, my first, what do you call, the initial shooting, I used to use the iPhone. That iPhone I've shown you. Now it was snatched from me. It was snatched from me. Imeletwa mkebe. Even if I would have killed anybody, even if I was Pastor Mackenzie, does it mean that Pastor Mackenzie simu yake iharibiwe hivi? Now ni mkebe. There are even times when I want to operate it, I try to call, it doesn't work. Napembeleza, na switch off, nafanya nini, napembeleza. Then it works. There are times it has even got spoiled to an extent that if I have to talk to you on phone, when it has accepted, when I talk to you, I have to put it on speakerphone. There are sometimes people say unakatika katika. Madam OCS, the phone call, when you called me and I came to see you, and my phone was taken away for 12 weeks, nikarudishiwa mkebe. Hata kama mimi ni Pastor Ezekiel, not Ezekiel, Pastor Mackenzie. Hata kama mimi ni Pastor Mackenzie. Do you mean that Pastor Mackenzie sasa masimu zake zote na makompyuta mumeharibu hivi? Anyway, that is why and then I have gone round. I've seen her bosses. I've talked to others. I've talked to, and I get a lot of pressure from the police. I get a lot of pressure from senior police officers that I should understand that she's got kids. Her file should not be spoiled. She should not even be sacked or anything. Just understand. I understand. She has kids. But when she trapped me, didn't she know that I had kids? Didn't she know that I had grandkids? She doesn't have grandkids. Now things are that way. I am supposed to understand. But when it was her turn, she was not supposed to understand. And people tell me, the way I used to tell people tell me, accept and move on. Now, when you want to accept and move on, somebody calls you or you call somebody, and when you are talking to somebody tells you unakatika katika ama hausikiki vizuri, unaweza piga baadaye. And you imagine when she called me, we were just talking out nicely and whatever. I'm not talking of my financial and whatever, the hardship I went through. And I'm supposed to forgive her and move on. I saw on the day I was sacked that no police officer will be sacked because of me. But then, Madam OCS Riruta, you called me and said, tafadhali kuja tu dakika mbili tatu. And the person, right now, she's a convicted criminal. She's a convicted criminal. Imagine, I've never been to a court as an accused person. We have some people who go to court and they win cases. Yeah, somebody can have even 30 cases and he or she has won all the cases. Me, I've never appeared in court as a suspect. I've never appeared in the docket when you are the accused person. No. Up to this time, maybe tomorrow or the day after. But somebody, a criminal, somebody whom we had a case at Milimani Land's case, and we won the case. And she said it was a land case near Giraffe Center. And the High Court decided in our favor. When the High Court decided in our favor, she decided now to use the police against me, including Madam OCS. That is the pain that I have. Rigiji usually says I'm a very understanding person. That is, he says he's a very understanding person. I'm also a very understanding person. But when my phone still does not work, sometimes people call me and then say, why do you switch off your phone at some times and whatever? You see, I can forgive her and I can do anything. But next time, when I go to look for a phone, I find I have to dig deep into my pocket. Why? Anyway, let me now go to the story. Many people have messaged me and told me that it is obvious that I'm still pained and that I should have find a way to move on. I understand them and I appreciate them. Actually, I have had hundreds of such cases where I tell those concerned to accept and move on. So when you tell me to accept and move on, I understand because I have told hundreds of people. Now I understand why to some of the people that I used to tell to accept and move on, why it took them ages. Some have even not even moved on. I have never told even a single one, but I have always wondered why they cannot simply accept and move on. Yeah, there are those people you advise and say, okay, this and this has happened. Kindly accept and move on. There are some, a dozen or so, they don't accept and move on. But I don't, I've never understood why they don't follow my advice. But I've always taken it that I've played my part, and I, and I moved on. Because if you try to tell them why have you not moved on, it will mean you are resuscitating the topic, and which I would not have wanted to resuscitate it. So I always advise them that move on, and they don't, and I pretend as if I've not noticed, but I've always noticed. It is good that my views have been my views. I want to share with you what I am going through. I want to share with you what I'm going through. Maybe you'll understand my views, and maybe it will also play a part in my what do you call healing. Because let me tell you, now does it mean that the Kenya Police Service do not recognize civil cases? You go to a court of law and give evidence in a civil case. In a land case, Koitobos Road, between Cooperative University and Giraffe Center. You go and just give a view, and you give your opinion. The case is there. You can go to me if you want. I can send you the case file number, of which I am a witness. Just going there and saying, in my view, and I'm not the only one who convinced the judge. Actually, if we have to tell the truth, it is this lady herself who tied herself. Okay, let me just give her two sentences for that. We were trying to say that that land belonged to three siblings. We tried to say that they belonged to three siblings, and we could not prove to the court that there was a third sibling. So she was asked if there was a third sibling. Said, huyu aliolewa jamani, Ujerumani zamani sana. And then the judge said, even if aliolewa zamani, does not mean that she cannot inherit her parents' property. So yeye mwenyewe ndiye alijifunga, because we were told to prove that there is a sibling who is there, the third sibling. And we could not produce a passport, we could not produce ID, we could not produce birth certificate. So she was just asked, na wewe unaonaje maneno ya the so-called by the way, that lady is Sicily. If you have heard the song Sicily by Jimmy Monimambo. She said huyu aliolewa zamani Ujerumani, hata si Mkenya. She's the one who is responsible for us winning the case. And then she gets a whole platoon of police officers now with the rifles, Scorpion rifles, pursuing me as if I'm Wakinyonga, taking me to the same police station that they released the quarry person. They don't even mind about looking for the quarry person. They mind about looking for somebody who gave an evidence on land issues. Now, does it mean that since the police and the DCI handles issues to do with criminal issues, so it means that they do not recognize court decisions made by civil cases? Anyway, let us move on. Forgive my anger. My views on the Riruta police station, 1. 2, my views on its officers. All this from the turn of the century or the millennium, if you so wish. That is for over 25 years. This is, I have these views about Riruta police station. For over 25 years, I have differed with only 2 police officers. Imagine, from the year 2000 to 2025, I have differed with only 2 police officers. One was called Washira. He was a constable, and he used to be irritated whenever he saw me being near the police station. I am in the lot that is called Detail 41. and he was in the lot that is called detail 42 in the police language. That means he is in the group that followed my group. It is like somebody who is in form 6. He says, when I was in form 6, he was in form 5. He used to say that I was still spying for the NIS. Whenever I used to visit Riruta police station, Washira used to think that I was monitoring the police station, and I would go. So the purpose for our differences was just simple this, that I was cheating people, that I was no longer with the NIS, but I used to be in Riruta police station monitoring what they were doing and then reporting it to the NIS. By then it used to be called NSIS. So that is his bone of contention. So he used to want me to be aware so that whatever dirty things they do, NSIS does not. That was why he was. And there was even a time when he threatened that if I go to the police station, he would know how it would fix me, and I would go to court and be jailed. That is the first police officer from Riruta that I ever differed with. The second cop that I ever had issues with was a second cousin of mine. I say second cousin because his father and my father were first cousins. He used to oppose anything and everything that I posted on social media, occasionally using strong language that bordered on vulgar language. I would just, instead of answering him on social media with the strong wordings that he had used, I would go to the police station and meet him and then ask him to, to elaborate. And he would just laugh and say that Facebook is just a palaver place where whatever is put there is not taken serious. He would even tell me that ukifuata maneno ya Facebook utaruka kichwa bure. Mambo ya Facebook yabaki kwa Facebook. There was one time when there was tension between me and a new recruit. A new constable, not a new recruit, a new constable. There was a constable. This one was a small tension, but we could not say that it is a third case. This new constable, who had been transferred from another station, I had come and was quick to ask where the OCS was. Whatever I wanted to see the OCS was very urgent. Instead of telling me where the OCS was, he retorted that I was among those civilians who disregarded junior officers and befriended senior officers. But he was quickly reassured by his colleagues that I was friendly to all police officers. And it's just that I may have urgent matters that I wanted to discuss with the then OCS. And then from that time onward, we became very close friends. So on those three items, the third one was a case of mistaken tension. When the constable thought that I usually look down among the junior officers. But the other two, it was something that was really annoying. That is the officers. If you see all the OCS, from the time when the station was a police post to a station, and very soon it will be a division. All the OCSs in Riruta Satellite have had a cordial relationship. I even feel that she is still my friend. I just don't know why she did what she did. She's an OCS. She did something that even a recruit fresh from Kiganjo would not do. Have I ever interfered with any active case in Riruta police station for those 25 years? No. Unless you have an alternative view for the following. There is a case where there was a young girl who had signed up with an internet service provider. She was to be given Wi-Fi to be paid after every 30 years, after every 30 days. When the month was approaching the end, she had 5 days that she did not have Wi-Fi. Today, I have an active Wi-Fi in my house. But I would tell you that ISP providers, hey, you call them, tell them I'm not getting signal. He says, unaishi wapi? We are facing, what do you call? We are facing a downturn in that area. Now, if the Wi-Fi was okay, you would not have called. So you call him to tell him that. He says, we know your area. Anyway, that time I had no Wi-Fi, so I didn't know. But the lady, for 5 days, she did not enjoy Wi-Fi. Some of the days it was a blackout in her area, and some of the days it was low internet in her low internet, as I've just said. So according to her, she wanted two alternatives. According to her, she had two alternatives. She either wanted, uh, instead of the Wi-Fi expiring, let's say on 5th, she wanted it to be pushed over 5 days to reach the 10th. Or alternatively, she wanted next month to pay 25 days. 25 divided by 30, that is 5/6. Yeah, she pays 5/6 of what the next month. But the ISP, the internet service provider, said that it was written contract and he could not alter the whatever. It was said that between every 30 days you pay afresh. Obviously, he was arrested on a Friday noon. Obviously, he was arrested on a Friday noon. That is a trick the police have been finding. On Saturday evening, his wife and workers approached me. I was even shown the complainant from far. When I went to the police station, I was shown the complainant from afar. So on Saturday at around 5 p.m., I went to the crime office and found him and his wife and the complainant with the investigation officer. I was escorted by one of his technicians. The complainant didn't know me. The lady complainant didn't know me, but everybody else in that room knew me. You could see an air of expectancy from the internet service provider, from his wife, and from their employee. Then I turned to the investigation officer as though commanding him. I said, "Is this the guy who has conned an innocent girl?" The investigation officer answered me. Uh, he accepted and said, "Yes, he is the fellow." I then said, "Funga yeye na asione huruma hata kidogo. Hao watu wamezidi." That is what I said. Then I walked out. I just said that. I just said, "Funga yeye na asionewe huruma hata kidogo. Hao watu wamezidi." Then I walked out. The internet service provider fellow, his wife, and his technicians were shocked. You know, all this time they thought I was going to assist him, to act like his advocate. But I was talking as if I was annoyed by him. And I was telling that investigation officer to lock that fellow in Nasioneo room. They froze in shock, and then I walked out. The lady complainant followed me outside. The lady complainant followed me outside. "Sir," she said, and she was trembling. Maybe she even thought I was a serving police officer. She said, "Sir, it is not what you think. I don't want him to be jailed." I then asked her, "Suppose he refunds you all the money that you sent him." She said that she would withdraw the complaint if he refunded all the money. Then we went back, me and the complainant, and I told the internet service provider, I told him to send her all the money that she had sent and send a technician to recover the Wi-Fi equipment. He said, "No, if I have to refund the money, we have to count the number of days she has been with the Wi-Fi. Uh, you see, it's 1 week to end month. So it means that if I have to refund, I have to refund a quarter of that because she has used 3 quarters." And then I said, he used to call, even today he calls me uncle. I told him, he told me, "Uncle, uncle," just as he was about to say, I cut him short and told him that he should then appear on court on Monday. You see, that was Saturday evening. So I was telling him that he would stay in the police cells the whole of Sunday, and Monday morning he would go to court. That really hit him hard. He then took out his phone, withdrew all the money that had been sent on the first day. When she received the money, we then told her to write a letter withdrawing the case. She wrote that letter and she left the police station with the technician to go and recover the Wi-Fi equipment. When she had left with the technician, I turned to the internet service provider as we were waiting for the OCS to release him. I turned to the internet. I told him, "Today you have been here for over 24 hours. Do you know how much, in business wise, you have lost? And you are supposed to go to court on Monday. So today is Saturday evening. You'll have to spend another 36 hours here." So what I've just done is that I'm not counting the money that you lost for the 3 weeks that the lady has used your Wi-Fi. I'm counting the money that you'd have lost if you have continued with the case up to the end. That was the first case. The second case, the other case, uh, is one day I visited the OCS. Actually, I usually visit them, but this time it was a deliberate visit. So I acted as if it was a normal visit. And as he was escorting me out of the office on what he thought was a routine visit, as we left the office just near the gate, I showed him an old man with a hat standing at the gate. I told him that was the Wajir police station driver during the Wagala massacre. The OCS was shocked. He looked at me as if I've told him that there is an angel or a devil at the gate. He looked at me in disbelief. Told him, "Yes, this was the OCS driver in Wagala massacre." Then he called that old man. He said, "Mzee, kuja hapa." He called the old man and told him that he told him how he told the former driver to the OCS that you are a good parent. You have bought your son a motorbike to earn. You have bought him a motorbike to earn a business. But do you know what your son is doing? Your son is renting out the motorbike that you bought him to crooks, and the crooks are committing crimes using the motorbike." Uh, then he said, "I know what to do." And both of them went to the OCS office and left me where I was. The OCS, up to the time he left that police station, he never told me how he he continued with the case onwards. He never discussed that with me. He never discussed that with me. And the old man, we usually meet. Actually, it is 3 weeks since I last met him. He has never told me anything about the son, but I would prefer to say that the OCS must have found a way to assist the son of a, a former police officer in one way or another. Otherwise, the son was going to jail. But he said when he ascertained that this is a former colleague, not just a former colleague, but the father participated in the Wagala massacre. So he felt that he should assist. And I would not be wrong if I suspect that the boy was the boy was cancelled and the complainant must have, I don't know, but the boy must have been assisted in one way or another. I don't remember any time I ever interfered. Now let me talk about cases where I have assisted the police. Okay, I don't complain because I assisted and I will assist unconditionally. But what I know is that every time I go to that police station and other police stations, but over 60% is a Riruta police station, over 60%. Whenever I go there, they don't leave me that way. They don't leave me that way. They make sure that at least I have something to buy sugar. At least I have something to buy sugar. So I want to talk about how I have assisted the former OCSs in the past. And when she called me, what came to my mind was, it was a case similar to that. There is a place which is called Keza along Dwaru Road. There is a place called Keza, a very high-handed place, Keza. Opposite Keza, there is a farm. There is 1 acre of bananas. I remember one time I was aware of criminal activities in that farm, and I talked to the then OCS, Barnabas Chumo. I talked to Barnabas Chumo one day and told him of the criminal activities that was happening somewhere at 3 a.m. So one day he picked me up at 2 a.m. and we went and stayed in that farm at night until he saw the activities that was happening. And he told me that that place was in Kabete what? Kabete police station area. So he told me that he will share it with Benson Mwai, who was the OCS Kabete. After that incident, that activity stopped happening. So I think Kabete police through Benson Mwai must have taken action. That one I can say is when Madam OCS was calling me, my idea was something of that say. I have also talked about my personal interaction. I have talked about sharing intelligence with the police, very many of it, which will take ages to explain. We have had a hard time with the police station. To cut the long story short, this police station was built on a land. This police station was built on a land whose title deed was had somebody's name. Imagine building a police station and the title deed does not read National Police Service, but the title deed reads Kamau Wanjoroge, something like that. Just like now, even right now, I am concerned. I am concerned that, at Kilimani Police Station, there are some houses which are being built, which are called affordable house, which will be for the police officers. Do you know that those houses that are being built for affordable house at Kilimani Police Station are on land that whose title deed does not belong to the National Police Service? Hata Madam OCS wa Riruta akifanya and others wakifanya vile wananifanyia. I am a son of a police officer and I'm also a police officer. Once a police officer, always a police officer. I would have sleepless nights until the day when those houses that are built for police for affordable houses, the day the title deed will be transferred to the police, just the way the title deed in Riruta police station was recently transferred to the National Police Service. We went through a hard time having the police station constructed in that position. Dagoretti South CDF money was used to construct the new police station. I am hearing somebody saying congratulations to KJ. Yeah. So the police station was constructed on land whose title deeds was in somebody's name. And remember, KJ was building that police station when he was in the Kutangatanga team. Even when the police station was completed, they could not even officially open it. The Deputy Inspector General could not open it because the MP who constructed it, KJ, was in the Kutangatanga team. But recently, as I've said, the title deed was returned to the police. Another assistance that I've been doing to the police is there is Naivas supermarket. There is Naivas supermarket on Naivasha Road. Opposite, not directly opposite, but somehow opposite the Naivas, there is a road that goes to from the Catholic Church to Muslim area. One time, somebody tried to, two people, no, it was one person. I don't know. I always think of two, but it was one. One person tried to steal a motorbike from, there is a parking there for motorbikes. Somebody tried to steal a motorbike, but as he tried to set the ignition, it refused. So all the boda people surrounded him and they lynched him. As they looked for petrol and they were burning him, I went aside and took my phone and rang the Riruta police station, OCS. Told him, sir, I told him the place where the issue was happening. He told me that, but that one is Mudangari area. That is Mudangari area. It is not in my area. But since you are talking of somebody wanting to be killed, I'm rushing there to save him. But I will talk to Mudangari OCS Mudangari to come to the scene. After I had finished talking, some boda people noticed that, and I was taken to where this man was being burned, and they wanted to place me among that and say, anajaribu kuita police. But then somebody looked at me and said, who is nini? Zamani alikuwaga OCS. When they had Zamani alikuwaga OCS, they left me. And that is when by the way, if you go around Riruta satellite, people call me OCS. That is the day when I was given that nickname. Because they wanted to lynch me. You see, they are lynching a motorcycle thief, and then I am calling the police, and then someone says, hapa kuna mtu anaita police, and I was carried up unceremoniously, wanted to be lynched, and it was just in the nick of time when somebody said, don't you know this fellow? He is always on TV. Alikuwa kwa KTN akiongea mambo ya JM. He is a former OCS. They said, oh, ulikuwa a former OCS. Then they went aside. The Riruta OCS came, took that person, and that person, upon arrival at, it used to be called, by then it used to be called Masaba Hospital. Nowadays it's called Nairobi Women. By the time that fellow was declared dead on arrival in Masaba Hospital. I'm proud of that. Madam OCS, call me another time. Trap me another time. But so long as in my heart I feel I'm assisting that makes my day. That makes my day. My dream is still that the person with the Kilimani police station title deed voluntarily hands over the title deed, just like what happened to Riruta. If I can assist, because I am aware, you see, police issues are secret. So if you are aware, it means that you are involved, isn't it? The day that person who has the title deed for those affordable house hands it over to the National Police Service, I'll be very happy. Now, with all that in mind, I got a phone call from Madam OCS Riruta. And this is how the phone call went. She said, siku hizi umepotea sana. Then I tell her, I'll be coming. But I had an issue that I will explain. Actually, the issue was, if you look at my pictures, even video recordings that I recorded in February, March, you'll find that I was sweating a lot. I even went to have my blood pressure and sugar level checked, and I was found to be normal. Up to this time, maybe the way Madam OCS and others treated me, maybe that thing treated that funny sickness. If you look at the 50th anniversary of JM Karaoke's death, you'll see the pictures that I took that time. I was really sweating. I was really sweating as somebody who had come from a race. But if you look at me now, you'd believe that I don't even have fat in my body. But I used to sweat a lot. So when Madam told me, squeeze umepotea, I told her I will be coming, but I had an issue that I will explain. That one I felt I would explain to her that I've been having a medical problem which I didn't understand. Then she acted on phone as if after an afterthought, she asked me, can I come to the station right away? In a very friendly manner. And that is why I always complain to women. Women, hii mambo ya act like a woman, like what do you call? Delilah. Hmm? This Delilahship. Wacheni, if you are an officer, you are an officer. Eh? If you are an officer, act like an officer. Sasa hii mambo ya kwanza act like a woman, and then you find I was even talking the other time that women have a problem. Imagine a civilian marrying a police woman, and then at 3 a.m. somebody knocks at the door, kuja tuende raid. You see, police women try to understand. If you are a police woman and you even want to be an inspector general, don't let a situation where it comes at you see, like this one, she was acting like Delilah to Samson. I asked her if the issue was urgent or I can come the following day. It was on a Monday. She said it is sort of urgent. She would prefer. Actually, the way she talked, it was like she was giving me an option to come the following day. But she said, if you don't mind, you can come now. Then I asked her, can you discuss it on the phone or it is sensitive? Then she answered me that it is sort of confidential. It is sort of confidential. I've always, every time I'm with the police officers, I usually tell them that in 1984, I was aware of wiretapping. And in 1990, Wajakoya, the one and only Wajakoya, used to work in the section of wiretapping. So I've always told the police officers that if it is something that is sensitive, please don't discuss it on phone. That is one. Two, don't discuss it on phone. And if you have to discuss, maybe give hints. Give just hints of the type of talkings you have, but don't discuss sensitive on phone. So when I asked her, she said it is sort of confidential. But the way she was talking, I got the impression that I could come the following day, but if I didn't mind, I could come immediately. So she asked you, I told her I'm coming. Then she asked me, where are you? She asked me, where are you? I told her where I am, which was a bit far. She knew the place. She told me, now take a boda and tell the boda that I will pay on arrival. Now, before I continue, I want to tell my listener or viewer, take yourself to the issue of the boda person who was being lynched. Take the case of being in a banana plantation from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. with a mosquito all around you for something that even the police hierarchy do not know that you are there. You are not a registered informer. You see, former police officers are never recruited as informers. It is part of our job that if you know anything that you would assist the police, just give out the information free of charge. So she tells me, take a boda boda and I will pay the boda boda man on arrival. Coincidentally, I did not find a boda boda, but I used a tuk-tuk. I paid 30 shillings. She has not been given me the 30 shillings up to this time. Madam OCS, if you are watching this, tuma 30 bob, because you said you'll refund upon arrival. Tuma na M-Pesa. I took a tuk-tuk to a place called Myers. From Myers, now going to Riruta police station, there's no direct tuk-tuk. So I went to a place called BP, and I saw people are taking long. People are taking long to fill in the tuk-tuk. So I said, police in Yapa. I started running. Now I want to tell you, for me to run from BP to Riruta police station is a respect that I have. In fact, I don't want to say I had. It's a respect that I have for the police and the Madam OCS. So from BP, I just ran. Upon arrival at the police station, she was nowhere to be seen. Most probably she was hiding. I could not see her, and I don't know where she was. Then out of the darkness came 4 armed men in civilian clothes. They bounced on me, and they said that sisi tunatoka Gigiri DCI na tumekukujia. They had this gun that is called Scorpion. It is okay, let us just say for the sake of it that they had AK-47. 4 of them. They just came out of the blues, said that sisi ni watu ya tumetoka Gigiri DCI na tumekukujia. Just that. Nothing more, nothing less. That we are from Gigiri DCI and we have come for you. Apart from ascertaining my identity, they did not introduce themselves by name or rank. Even right now, I don't know the name and rank of the in charge. Only that he's brownish and he has a strong coastal accent. If I'm not wrong, either he's a Mukamba from Changamwe, Chani area, or he's a Mijikenda. I am told that I'm not told. They did not tell me why they were arresting me. They didn't. In Kiganjo, when somebody is arrested, there are 3 things that happen. In Kiganjo, when somebody is being arrested, 3 things happen. Number 1, they have to identify it is you, so as not to confuse you with your twin. If it is a man, with your twin brother. If it is a woman, with your twin sister. Once they have ascertained that it is you, the next thing, you are supposed even to be asked, are you James Huatenge? They never asked me if I'm James Huatenge. I just went to the police station and asked, Madam OCS, yuko wapi? And then I was told, hayuko, sijui. The lady who was in the report office was reluctant to talk. Hayuko, sijui ni. Why does she call me and she's not away? Anyway, I'll wait for 2 hours. Then I hear somebody whispering from my back, sisi tumetoka DCI Gigiri na tumekukujia. Then they handcuffed me. Said, okay, well, it is me who spread out my hands. Why? We former police officers have a problem. If you try to argue, if you try to talk anything before your hands are handcuffed, they'll shoot you and say that you tried to escape. So it is better you extend your hand, they handcuff you. You don't even say anything after they have handcuffed you. Because if they shoot and kill you, your body will have the handcuff marks. So I extend my hand willingly, even before they ask. And then after they have handcuffed me, I said, makosa gani? They did tell me, just tell me to go there. And then they started taking a lot of pictures of me, still pictures and video camera, where they went out and sent by WhatsApp to the lady, a cousin who lost a case, a land case at Milimani Law Courts, a land case at Milimani Law Courts. And instead of appealing to the Court of Appeal, she does what? She appeals to police thugs. Then Madam OCS appears from the darkness. I tell her that I don't mind being arrested. I have to set a good example, isn't it? But what am I accused of? I asked her two questions. What am I accused of? And who is the complainant? Let me tell you, I will not talk about other things that happened in the other places where I don't know the complainant wrote a statement after I was arrested for over 15 hours. I'll not talk about that. I'll not even talk about how I was being shuttled around. I was shuttled around. I was taken to DCI lab. The CCTV in DCI lab can show me being taken there, shuttled there. From there, I can be shown being taken to Milimani Law Court. From there, my son is being seen being directed to ATM. From there, the ATM, all ATMs have CCTVs. It can even be shown my son withdrawing money from his college account. It can even be shown let me not talk about those people, because it is funny that IPOA, yes, IPOA, and even the police, the DCI and themselves, you go and complain. Then I just showed you my phone does not work most of the time. But then you get a phone call and then you are told, if you don't come and write a statement within the next 12 hours, your case is going to go. And you see, you are told that, you rush and write a statement. It is now 12 weeks since I wrote that statement. No communication at all. It was a trick to me to write a statement within 12 hours because I was in Western Province, so that I delay and then the case goes back. Now that I've written, it was so quick that I was being harassed to go and write quickly. But then it takes another 12 weeks and counting, and I've not been told what happened to the case. It has just been, IPOA is silent. The PPO, the Regional Police Commander's Office in Nairobi is quiet. The regional DCI is quiet. I'm not talking about that. This thing, my beef with Madam Riruta is simple. Simple this. Supposing the Duthi fellow had taken me there, instead of being paid, he would see the way I would be maggot, and the whole country would be knowing that I've been arrested. The Duthi man would not have been paid. So, Madam, you wanted me, uliniseti nijiaibishe. That is number one. Two, I told her to ask my abductors to tell me what I was arrested for and who my accusers was. I told her 3 times. They were hearing, it is like a triangle. Madam, suwambie, waniambie wamenishika na makosa gani. Madam, suwambie, waniambie ni nani complainant. Of course, they had me telling her. But she did not ask them, na mumeshika kwa nini. My iPhone was confiscated. The purpose of the iPhone being confiscated was very simple. This cousin of mine wanted the DCI officers to get my phone and then go through the messages and see whom do I communicate with regularly. Now, here is a criminal who has this time lost 2 cases, and I think in December she's going to be convicted for a 3rd case, ordering members of the National Police Service as if she was the drill instructor in Kiganjo, and ordering them to harass a former police officer, a provincial desk officer in charge of 2 desks, criminal intelligence and intertribal tension in the biggest province. A person who has never, okay, maybe tomorrow, but a person who has never appeared in court for a person who has never appeared in court as an accused person. I have only appeared in court as a police officer, and I've appeared in court as a witness. I've never appeared in court in any other. Obviously, my so-called accuser had not made a report to the police. She made a report after I had been arrested for over 15 hours. If you check with the Safaricom, you'll find that I was arrested on a Monday, 8 p.m. Then on Wednesday, you know, we are Africans, so we count it on Tuesday night, but it is Wednesday because it was 2 a.m. 2 a.m. at night. The investigation officer made a night call to those people and said, and Safaricom can stand by me. I'm talking that Safaricom can stand by me. They can say that they can reproduce the video, which says he was telling a fellow police officer like him, that you should. That was that I was being harassed in the investigation room for the purpose of placing myself in such a way that I come out with the information that they can now find a crime, because this was whatever they were charging me was purely a civil case, but they were trying to find a way where I could implicate myself. Actually, they were even trying to tell me that the charges be made smaller to an extent that I go to court and accept. I go to court and accept a lesser charge, but and that is why on Wednesday, the night of Tuesday and Wednesday at 3 a.m. No, 2 a.m. 2 a.m. If the DCI is serious, can check the so-called investigation officer. It can also check the phone call that he made at 2 a.m. Imagine 2 a.m. I'm supposed to be in the cells, but I was in the investigation room where he made a phone call and said, these are things that are with the Safaricom. Said he called him by his name and said he's a Kisi by tribe. Called him, utakuja kesho uandike statement ingine, hiyo statement yako haini. So here is a situation where I'm taken round circles so that and then it came to a time that now the investigation officer had come up with a solution that a way has now been found on how I could be, another charge could be there. Another thing I've talked in the PG was attempted to force me to eat food. Lastly, I would say I have noticed, and I've shared that issue with the IPOA. I would want the police in the future to be answerable. People are being deliberately arrested on Friday, especially on weekends with the holidays, so that they are released on Monday. Or alternatively, somebody is arrested, taken to court, he pleads innocent. Then he is taken to remand for 2 weeks. And then when the 2 weeks come for hearing, they withdraw the case. That is evil, that is devilish. But to the police officers, including Madam OCS Riruta, I am only pained because angalia nina simu mkebe. That is the only reason I'm pained. But given an opportunity, even today, if I have any information or if there is any way I can assist the police to make their work easy, I'll do it without any second thought. Thank you.